open that word of God.
Oh, but that butter knife's better than
But
that.
sometimes even a butter knife is better than what Satan's got.
Amen.
If there's no other testimonies, then I'll turn the services over to Brother Wayne.
Glory to God. I want to express before the church my appreciation to my wife that has, over the past several weeks, gone through great difficulty, not only with me, but with Mark. Mark Karen left to go back home on Friday, and he starts radiation in Medford on Monday. So let's remember Mark and Karen and their family in our prayers as they are fighting this battle. It's not easy. A friend of mine this week, and they're still trying to figure it out, his brother said, we don't know why that he gave up on life. Only 61 years of age. He went into his garage over in a better part of Bakersfield, and he took a weapon and shot himself. No one can figure out why that he took his own life. He was financially secure. Family apparently was intact. And they're trying to understand why would a 61-year-old individual give up on life. Every morning this week I have been at the Cancer Center for radiation. I have been exposed to people that are fighting with all of their ability and energy. One little 87-year-old woman, she had been operated on 4 times for cancer. She's still fighting for life. Still believing that God is able to give unto her a reason to get up, a reason to go on. A few years ago, my oldest brother passed away, and we went back to his funeral, and after the funeral was over and we told him we were coming home, I was asked by one of my nephews, you mean you're not going to stay and hear the wheel read? And I said, no, not really any purpose, because my name won't be in it. My brother and I didn't get along all that well whenever I was a kid trying to grow up, and he was not going to leave me any of his wealth whenever he left this earth. I wasn't expecting any of it. But I can tell you this morning that I am serving a God that has given us untold treasures.
Yes.
Amen.
If we could only understand what God has given unto us. I want to read to you, I want you to read with me this morning, Hebrews, the 1st chapter. I've asked you before, and I'll ask you again, do you really believe that the Bible is the Word of God?
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
I mean the God that created the heavens and the earth, the God that causes the birds to sing and the flowers to bloom. Do you believe that that God has spoken unto us through a book that we can hold in our hands, that we can read and study? Hebrews, the 1st chapter. God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, who being the brightness of his glory, and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. He made so much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels saith he at any time, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee, and again I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. And again, when he bringeth in the firstborn unto the world, he saith, And let all the angels of God worship him. And of the angels he saith, Who maketh his angels spirits, as administers a flame of fire. But unto the Son he said, Thy throne, O God. The Father saying to the Son, Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom, the rule of your kingdom. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore God, even thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. And thou, Lord, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thy hands. They shall perish, but thou remainest, and they all shall wax old as doth a garment. And as a vesture shalt thou fold them up, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. But to which of the angels said he at any time, Set on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Are they not all ministering spirits, sent forth to minister for them who shall be the heirs of salvation? The New Testament and the Old Testament. The Old Testament tells us that God is going to make a new covenant with his people. The Old Testament came to a fulfillment, and the New Testament is the Word of God speaking unto us. Jesus Christ is the Word of God. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. But unto the Son he saith, Thy throne, O God, is for ever and ever. 1 Peter, the 3rd chapter, the 18th to the 22nd verse. We're looking and understanding that the Bible indeed is God speaking unto us by his Son. The Word was made manifest, and we beheld his glory. The glory is the only begotten of the Father. Now listen to what that the Bible said. For Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit. For Christ hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust. In other words, he stood in my place, he took my place. My wife said this week, I wish I could go take those radium tests for you.